need help, Lord. I need help. I need help, Lord. I don't know what to do. So I call on you. I need help. I need help, Lord. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Hey, hey, yeah, we feeling good in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. Yeah, we feeling good in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. I need help. I need help, Lord. I don't know what to do. So I call on you. I need help. I need help, Lord. We giving thanks in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. Hey. You know, I was talking about the pollen yesterday because it's really been affecting me, right? And I was like, well, the rain washes out the pollen. I told him yesterday, the rain washes out the pollen. So where we are, it's raining this morning. And when I opened the door, Spirit gave me a little download. So I want to share it with you. Good morning, Jazz.
Hey,
right?
Jazz.
So I want to share what God gave to me. And, I was like, okay, I hope it resonates. So some of you may get it and some of you may not. But whatever. I'm going to give it to you anyway. So sometimes we want to avoid the rain, right? Maybe it's because we just don't want to get wet. Maybe it's because of the traffic and, the reckless driving. Or maybe it could be you just got your hair done. Whatever it is, sometimes we want to avoid the rain, But the rain is needed to wash away the pollen and help the crops, right? So we have to look at the root of why things are happening and not the delay that it causes, right? Because there's a reason that everything happens. So without the rain, the pollen doesn't go away. Without the rain, the crops don't grow, right? So remember that everything that's happening, there's a reason. Find the lesson in it. Okay? Don't worry about the delay. Delays come. Setbacks happen. Challenges will always be, right? But look at the root of what's happening, right? And the reason for it, and learn something from it, right? Okay? So, that was my little download. Hey, y'all.
Hey, tribe.
Hope you guys are doing well, in positive energy and attracting the life you desire. I wouldn't expect anything less from you. Okay? We're coming through with another reading now. It was a struggle this morning, y'all. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been down this week and, we've been putting in a lot of work, a lot of effort, and just, real life as well. So, it's been a struggle, but we're here. Better late than never.
Tribe, what's up? Good morning, grand rising to you. It's happy Mondays and all of that, right?
Yeah.
Great energy this morning, extremely tapped in. And I definitely want to say this. I woke up with some energy on me and I'm getting real skilled at getting it off of me, right? If it ain't nothing more than when I grab the hand pan, it's a wrap. Mm-hmm. I'm like David with the heart, with the pan, right? I'm able to drive evil also. But what I do want to say to y'all as a collective is this. First, two things. First, as you ascend into your power, really make note of the words that you say. the words I had to remind her this morning. She was like, it's raining this morning. And I said that yesterday. And you know what I told her? Well, I'm getting used to that being with you. Right? And she like, oh, okay. I'm kind of like, but that's the reality of it. See, the things that you say, you backed by a spirit now. See, before you was living your life, you wasn't tapped in. You know, I'm feeling like a lot of your ancestors, before you decided to ascend and really understand what's going on for real, they were standing on the fence like, please let them get it. Like, please, like, just let them get this one download, right? Ancestors was pushing for you, you broke through. But see, when you broke through, the world you live in, it changed. But you don't get it. So I'm trying to help you get it. So please pick up what I'm putting down. It changed for you. Your word, it leads to things. When you speak things, like, it's almost like, the Bible says it. That's why I be trying to get people to read the Old Testament all the way through. You're going to pick up so much spiritual law. I don't care what you practice, right? But it says, speak things that be not as though they were. You know why I'm saying that? Because see, when you step into, this is speaking to people who move in spirit, right? Holy Spirit, the Spirit of God, the Spirit that fuses, whatever you call it, right? When you line up right, when you say things, boom, like we was talking to sister the other day, and she was saying she got a machine, right? Now the universe opened up a way. I feel it in her energy. Like the machine that she got is what's going to lead to her making a breakthrough on a major level. Why? Because she spoke it. And as she spoke it, the universe opened up a way. But what we do, we begin to speak things and then we fall away from believing them. So it's like the universe give you a start, but then it's like your ancestors be like, make an effort. Now put your foot forward, right? We got you. But we call it out, man, I'm tired of this, I'm done. Bam, universe finish it. Open up a way. But then when the way open up, we like, I don't know, right? That's when the ancestors get frustrated because it's now like, oh, we got to work with them tender. We got to be tender. But it's a time for everything. It's a time for them to be tender with you, but it's also a time for God to bring chastisement against you in order to get you to move, right? So know that you love, first of all, and understand that the words you're saying, that's what's calling out your reality. You laying down your reality. The words you say, thank you, Spirit, they are what's known as one word. They are reactionary now. Your words, they wasn't like that always. Sometimes people thought your word ain't mean nothing because you was deemed half crazy because you was weird. Because you was always tapped in with spirit. So people automatically, when people see a real person that's tapped in, they actually think you dumber than them. Because they used to the schemes and scams and mechanisms of the world. So when you falling away from that shit and you getting weirder and weirder by the second to them, so it's like, oh, I could really put one over. And that's what got a lot of people in the situations that's known as karma with you. A walk in karma because the weird things about you, they was always God's favorite things about you. You know how I'm going to break it down and give it to you? So you can come up point to two people, right? Paul, right, who was known as Saul. In the biblicals, you know what he was known? He was known to persecute Christians. And all the Christians across the land looked at him like, man, that's the man of fear right there. Imagine his name, imagine his face on a poster board, everybody feared him, right? That's Paul. But then God looked at him and said, forget what man see, I see a zeal in him. The boy get busy. If I could turn him towards me, he gonna get busy for real. Like, that's you, the same way, same energy. Men don't see nothing that God put in you. You just now seeing it yourself. So God protected you from you and them. But now it's all in your word. Your word is carving out your future, your destiny, your reality. You calling stuff in, the universe get to wiggle it, right? It remind me of number 7 on the Umbrella Academy. She ain't know her power. She was walking down the street and the lights was bending. And the guy with her was like, yo, you don't see that these lights is bending while you walking down the street? And that's some of y'all, you don't really see your power is you speaking things, the universe is jiggling because the ancestors pulling for you, God's pulling for you. All right? And then second, before we jump in and she get with the reading, you have a duty and a responsibility to watch what you say out your mouth to other people. That's what's snaring a lot of people. You got these gifts. Your gift don't mess well with your emotions. Not all the time. When your emotions is going to the left, don't put your gift in it and go. Don't. You know, I've been through that, and I fought myself back out of that. You know, my accent is Baltimore's gonna come off how it's gonna come off, but my intentions are pure. And if they not, I stay away from my gift because a lot of people, you too personal in your gift. You going online with a gift and you speaking out, but you speaking from personal hurt and development, and you're not balancing it, right? And that become misleading. So you become a curse to other people.
That's real.
You know, I heard somebody on there yesterday talking about, you know, how do you know when people ain't right? I'm gonna tell you how you know when people ain't right because they gonna be doing this and they gonna be doing that. Yo, who give anybody the authority to do that kind of shit right there? That's a fallacy right there. That's the kind of stuff that spirit frown on because you got a true gift that's meant for mankind. You gotta detach from your emotions when you use it.
That's real.
Everybody got a responsibility, right?
That's real. Because you can become very reckless in your emotions, you know, and lead people the wrong way.
No doubt. Lead them down your path.
You heard me.
You know?
It takes a very balanced life, you know, with a lot of effort.
Something that she taught me. Uh-oh, we got the blockbusters
What's
out.
the energy? Oh, that was out.
I feel like your back is just up against the wall, right? You don't know what else to do.
What's wrong with me? Alright. 8th house, Sagittarius energy. Who's the Sagittarius here? Could be me. I don't know. But it's good energy. You know, that's the house of blessings. You know, I feel like, you know, right now. Oh, I'm sorry, 8th, yeah, I'm in the Scorpio. I don't know, I'm thinking about the 9th house. I'm sorry, y'all. 8th house, Scorpio, Pluto, right? But I feel like this energy, death and transformation, it's the energy we've been speaking of. It's the energy of change. It's the energy of the willingness to let go of things that no longer serve us. You know, it's like there could be a lot of joint ventures right now. You know, I keep talking about meeting your soul tribe. You know, people with like mindsets and, you know, people that want to, see you go higher, you know. I know me, I always want to sit at a table with people that have more than me, you know, more knowledge, more whatever, more wisdom, right? I always love to be the underdog at the table, right? That's what I strive for because that's how I thrive. That's how I learn, right? I learn by being the underdog in situations. And I've always learned like that. So, you know, transformation is here, okay? Now, I feel like right now is very important, and I probably keep speaking about the same things all week, but it's cool, you know. No, it's Scorpio, boo. My bad. I was thinking about the 9th house.
Yeah. So she was saying Pluto in the 9th house.
Oh, okay. Right. But, yeah, you know, I feel like right now, you know, you guys are showing up like very mysterious, you know. So, of course, because people can't see exactly what you're doing, they're coming up with their own ideas, their own, they're coming up with their own stories about you. Yeah. It's just important for you to keep doing what you're doing. It's very important for you to not to respond in this energy because, you know, Scorpio energy can be dark. It's sex, drugs, excuse me, you know, it's like a transformation energy. It's also a very low vibrational energy when it comes to the sacral area. You know, it's a lot of possessiveness, obsession when it comes to the lower area. So
people using what they got to get
what they want. So in this energy, I feel like, you know, Spirit is really wanting you to know to, you know, pay attention to people and what they really want from you, right? Pay attention to people and what their intentions are for you, You know, the scorpion is very mysterious and alluring, but when it gets you and it stings you, it's a serious sting.
Yes, it is.
Right? So be careful of those things that come in and try to sting you, right? Mysteriously, right? It's a powerful sting. Okay? I don't know. I feel like also, you know, there's someone and you're really trying to balance out your darkness. Okay? It's a balance. Like, I don't know if you're trying to get rid of it, but you never will. Like, you know, we're human beings that were born into sin, right? So it's like we can strive to be our best, but we're always going to make mistakes, right? So you could be needing to just give yourself a little bit grace here, because, you know, the Scorpio energy can also put you in, like, you know, a dark place as well, right? Because, you know, it's like that dark side of us, that side that we like to hide, you know, that side that keeps us under bondage.
What lies beneath the surface.
Right? The things that are, like, you know, hidden about us. So it's like, you know, very important to just pay attention to that right now. Your resources, okay? I don't know. Like, if I be honest with you guys, I feel like the collective is gaining more, like, material, spiritual wealth, and I feel like a influx of freeloaders, users, abusers, right? Wanting to come in and really find a spot around you. So, you know, while you are in the energy of meeting people, because you are, like, you're going to be meeting people, a lot of people, and now it's up to you to use your discernment of who these people are. Like, because it's, you know, it's not the era of no new friends. Like, we're not, that's not what we're practicing and preaching. We're preaching, you know, and practicing oneness, being together. So people will come to you. Now, it's up to you to use your discernment. Now, are you going to choose the same spirits that you chose last time? You know, those same friends that they all had the same spirit and you couldn't understand, like, what's going on here? Are you going to choose the same spirit in your mate again? You know how you had that woman and it was like, dang, she was just like the last one. And the one before that is the spirit, right? So it's like, you know, this time, you know, going through this transformation, you'll be prepared, right? It's like, you know, you'll be prepared. There's someone, you know, you're really about to receive your inheritance. Okay, this could be something that was held back from you. It could even be like a spiritual inheritance, like a gift that you don't even know that you have, right? It could come out of nowhere. God could really just give you something else, because you already have a lot, but there's something else that could come out here. And this could be like a gift that came from, like, your grandmother, your grandfather, right? You could just pick this thing up and it could take off for you. Okay? Now, in the 8th house with your finances and your assets, I'm telling you, there's vultures out here that want to suck you dry for the things that they see you about to receive. So be very, very mindful of this. There's a lot of people that what they do, they make it a job to come around to find good people like you, right? So that they don't have to do a lot of hard work. They come in with these conversations that are very enticing, right? They come in smelling good and looking good, and, you know, underneath it's just not good. You know, it's almost kind of like when the grocery store, you know how when the meat is about to go bad and then they take it and they go to the deli and they cook the chicken, and then after they don't sell the chicken that they cook, they cut it up and they put mayonnaise in it and they make chicken salad. It's like that kind of energy. That's funky, ain't it? Right? But it's something about that, okay? I feel like, you know, partnerships should be very important to you right now, okay? Divine partnerships. Like, you know, some of you guys, you ain't been the best friend all the time. I know I haven't. You know, sometimes we always want to blame other people for things, but, you know, I thought about the other day, well, you know, there's some things I could have done better in some situations, right? Maybe I could have communicated better when I was upset, or instead of just walking away, or maybe I could have did this, right? But I feel like partnerships right now that you're gaining, because I told you you're meeting people, take honor in these, if you can find 5 good friends in your life, you're doing something good. And the energy of the Bible also says that a good friend is more like a brother, So your partnerships really begin to take them serious when you start developing these divine partnerships.
I'm feeling tight back energy. So somebody, you might be good with your hands, giving back rubs, like really get in the back, work it out. You understand the science. Like,
you know why it's funny you said that? Someone could literally work at Massage Envy.
Wow.
That's crazy. You see
yeah,
that?
I see massage out here, massage. And it's a detective in the energy somewhere. So some association with a detective. In your 3-card demonstration I pulled, you have peace, indecision, and envy. And it kind of shows me what lies beneath the surface of the Scorpio energy, right? Just energy. We read. You're a person, you probably want peace. You're trying to manifest a certain peace. But what lies beneath the surface is the envy, right? And envy is an extremely powerful and malignant kind of energy, because what it does is envy has a way of affecting us, and it tricks us into thinking that it's like we look out at people who envy us and we be like, I know they envy me. That acknowledgement right there puts you right in the loop with envy, because you have association with it. Things that we have like that's why Sun Tzu in Art of War, he said, pick your enemies wisely, for you will become them. So envy, right? When you're dealing with envy, it reminds me of something. I'm going to tell you, maybe you all seen this movie, but there's a movie called Paid in Full, Dame Dash production, right? Pretty old movie. But it has, when I look at that movie, it put the spirit of envy on display in a way. The boy Mitch uncle ended up snatching his nephew because he was envious of Mitch. And Mitch was looking out at him like he was despising him. But what he wasn't realizing was he was driving envy. Even though Mitch was like, I'm standing for what's right, I'm getting money, I'm supporting my family, I'm taking care of the boy or whatever, right? He had so much fire towards his uncle, he would burn him up every chance he got. But what he didn't realize was he was creating. Envy was doing what envy does in that situation. And it led to the unaliving of the boy, right? The boy, he lost him because of this envy. So envy is there. It's creating indecision because maybe you're associating with it and maybe you don't realize it. Too much acknowledgement, too much keep saying, man, I know they out there doing, I know. All right, that's leading you into the energy of it. You're not rising above it, you becoming a part of it. And eventually, you're going to react out of envy, right? If it's no more than feeling like, well, why is everybody against me, right? That becomes envy. And then you start looking at people like this, right? And you start wanting to be in your power the wrong way. You got to learn how to ignore it as to not become a part of it. You already know it's there. So the fact that you know that envy already exists, don't acknowledge it because it's creating indecision in you. Imagine this. Imagine you about to go out your house and all the spirits of envy pushing you, and to the point where now you stepping out the door like this. I don't even know, right? A wise man once told me, right? Minister Brown, he once told me, this is my elder. You know what he told me? He said, Harv, it's not wise to leave out the house without a destination. That's how you get into things.
That's how you get into
things. That was the realest advice that he ever gave me.
That's like, very smart. I heard somebody kind of say something like that. Like, when you get in the car and know where you're going. He said,
it's not wise to leave out the house without a destination because that's how you get into things, right? And that's how envy had you. When you associate with it, you can really leave out, and now you indecisive about whether you want to go to the store or not, or whether you want to do what you're supposed to do or not, because you resonating with the envy that surrounds you. It's too much of a strong resignation with envy, like people grab and hold the envy. Look, focus on what you got to do, and begin to be decisive. It's like you wake up, pretty much, this collective over here, most of us wake up, do some type of meditation or some type of thought process that includes God, higher power, energy, or whatever, right, on the right side and the light side. Now, when we do that, you gotta understand, now you gotta move in the tempo you set. When you get up worrying about what people thinking and saying, you immediately associating with the envy. And it begins to grow. It begins to grow. Move more decisive. When God give it to you, just move with it, right? When it come your way, just bless it. You ain't just bless it, right? When the trouble come, just bless it, right? Because God so got you, right? I heard that. Like, God so got some of us that just bless it. Like, when people just bless them, right? Because why burn them up? Why your ancestors gonna do what they gonna do regardless? It's above you. So ain't no need for you to even get involved in it, right? Let a person keep thinking that they shorting you or doing you dirty or hot. Let them keep right on thinking that, right? You know better. So don't associate with the envy.
There's someone and you could be needing some financial assistance. Spirit says you have not because you ask not. Okay? A closed mouth doesn't get fed. And sometimes you will be put in humbling situations to show you a thing or two. And, you can be humbled in a way where if you don't ask for help, you ever been in a situation where the only way you can get out is help and you don't want to ask for it? If you don't ask for that help, you won't get out in certain situations, right? Now, if you ask for the help, God gives you grace and mercy because you humble yourself and you'll find yourself being blessed out of a situation. So that was something I got. I also picked up that there could be a surge of emotional waves that could be present this week. Okay, so it's very important to check in with yourself all week and how you're feeling. Maybe get you a journal and write it down. Whatever it is, when you find yourself going through these like emotional surges, I'm suggesting that you get like a notebook and you write down what's happening at this moment. What happened that made you feel like this? What were you doing? Was it somebody around you? Was it that you were at work and you felt stressed? Were you just at home alone and you felt lonely? Was it that, whatever it is, get you a book and write down, because I'm hearing, again, that there could be definitely a surge of emotional waves could be present this week, okay? So prepare yourself, stay steady, stay ready, okay?
Hey, I like that. Stay steady and stay ready.
Okay.
Ooh.
Also, I got, sometimes the only way we can be freed from a thing is by being honest about what we did in a situation, right? So, sometimes you've ever done something where it's like you feel so bad you need to just get it off your chest. Well, really technically you are supposed to tell like another person, another believer, kind of that kind of energy to free yourself. But definitely heavy accountability. That was my next one. Yes, this could be for you for sure. Accountability. But there's something, there's someone, and I don't know, there's something that's on you, and the only way to free yourself is by acknowledging what you have done in the situation, asking for forgiveness and moving forward, okay? And remember, the only way to get forgiveness is to give it. So, your finances, okay? Now, this is half and half because the collective, there's some people that your finances have changed significantly. And then there's some people you could be still struggling a little bit financially here, that you could be at a financial standstill. Right now, it's very important for you to pay attention to every move that you make. I'm talking about, all of the Starbucks runs before work.
Wow.
All of the gas station trips with the $5 packs of gum. All of the extras that you've been doing, Spirit says that it's time for a transformation. You are the spiritual banker. And if you can't be responsible with the things that God is giving you, how are you going to get more? Because there's an upgrade here also, okay? You know, Scorpio Pluto is transformation energy. That means change comes in and it transforms and it changes and it upgrades.
You know, if this feels like a beautiful energy, as she said, Scorpion, that's the death energy, death card energy. And what fell out in this three card spread I just laid out was death, grief, imagination. So, you know, I try to stay away from the footnotes unless Spirit leads me there. I let my intuition do it for me. And this is beautiful because Spirit is telling me somebody's putting death to the grief in your imagination. And you know, grief really affects our creative process. When you grieving, going through them 7 stages, right? Because pretty much, who connected to this channel has not experienced the 7 stages of grief? Or if not, trapped in one energy that exists in the 7 stages of grief. Yo, I really feel it's safe to say majority of you are, right? We are, right? This is why God has us here together doing it. But this death to the grief and the imagination, this speaks of collective energy, right? This really speaks of the progression of the mind of the people in the collective. People are allowing the grief to go. It's like you reaching that stage of acceptance, right? Which is a great stage when you're dealing with grief. You know, some people, you at the bargaining stage. I feel like people bargaining, like, you know, you bargaining and maybe some of you have karma that needs to be cleared out, right? And, you know, I always look at it like this. When you're really trying to bring a death to the grief and you're trying to move through the stages of grief, accountability is your best friend. It's even better than begging God for mercy. I'm trying to help somebody. When you take accountability, right, and you're going through your grieving process, it's actually stronger and more empowering than begging for mercy. Because accountability brings with it mercy, a new level, right? A strong respect from higher powers, higher sources. They respect accountability, right? It screams of the energy of humanity in the right light. Accountability. If everybody took accountability for everything, the whole world would walk straight to heaven. It probably create a magnetic field where everybody elevate. With the grief, like I said, death to the grief and the imagination, I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind, right? Spirit led me there. And that's real good energy for overall. People working hard, right? You working through, you know, I'm hearing them say you working in all dimensions. And that's what happens when you reach alignment, right? You're doing things you don't even know you're doing. In other parts of time is really measures, you know. It's a measure of an experience that we had. They put the clock together. So we abide by it. But in reality, your alignment is fusing other yous and other time dimensions, time warps. You straightening out things that happened when you were born. As you, thank you, Spirit. It's real past life regressive energy with this ascension. It ain't nothing light. People think it's light, and that's why they don't understand it. When you ascend, you actually start straightening out things that you did, traumas that you had in your childhood. You really going back to that place. So your life is breeding different results. Imagine if you didn't do what you did at 9 years old. Imagine if it wasn't done to you when you were young. If you weren't broken in that way, you wouldn't be stuck in that trauma. Well, that's the beauty of ascension. It enables you to do past life regressive type of things where you can really go back to that place, talk to that part of yourself that was broken, encourage it, and boom, you'll see your future become as if that never happened. It's called quantum energy, right? So continue to embrace your imagination.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. All right, so I got hidden feelings will arise at some point. What lies beneath the surface will rise. You know, we're in the Scorpio. That's like Pluto what lies beneath the surface. So
cheek.
yeah, so what lies beneath the surface will rise. Address all situations in real time. Don't allow ill feelings to grow. So Spirit is saying, you know how sometimes like something may happen, right? Somebody might do something to you. Somebody might offend you. Somebody may say something that you don't understand or whatever it is. And you don't address it right then and there, right? But in your spirit, it offended you or it made you feel some kind of way. So you hold on to this energy, unbeknownst to yourself. Maybe you thought it wasn't that big, but you harbor and hold on to these feelings, right? Well, Spirit is saying address whatever it is that you're feeling in real time. Now, make sure you're being emotionally mature, right? We don't want to go around just nitpicking about every little thing. But things that really move your spirit in a way, it's time for you to start addressing it in the moment. Because a lot of times, let's say I do something to you right now in real time, right? And then you wait 2 hours later, you got an attitude and I don't know what's going on. Well, I might have forgot what I done or, maybe whatever it is, I may have moved past it, but you didn't tell me how you felt that it's time we start speaking out in the moment so people can understand you, how you feel, why you feel the way you feel, right? And then you can move forward. You don't have to keep those emotions because anything that's pushed down, it comes up eventually, right? So it's like, any hidden feelings will arise. So make sure you address things in real time is very important. And, my mom always taught me it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So I feel like you can address any situation and get your desired result if you come, mature, right? Also, I learned something very wise from one of my mentors a long time ago, and he always taught me, no matter how little you have, pay yourself first. Okay? So there's someone, and things could be a little bit tight, and I know you got a lot going on, but whatever it is, off the rip, you have to pay yourself first because nobody else will. All right? So that's some wisdom I got from one of my mentors. And then this is not a time to rob yourself to pay Paul. I'm talking about spiritually, spreading yourself thin in areas where you're not appreciated, footing the bill for everything. It's not a time for you to rob yourself to pay the next person. So it's very important, self, this week, paying attention to, I'm telling you, we started off with rain this morning, Water is an energy that moves around. It's constantly changing. It can take different forms. So I'm feeling a week full of different emotions, Be able to address your emotions. Remember to get your paper out and write down what's going on with self. It's time to look at self and figure out how to make self better, right? So pay attention to self this week and don't rob self to pay Paul, okay? Right? Also, just a reminder, as you go throughout the week, we are supposed to discern the actions and words as good and evil. So we are to use our discernment to discern actions and words, not necessarily an individual as evil or good, because we don't know who God is using. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to get in the way of our own blessing, right? By accusing somebody of not being who they are or whatever. You're evil, you're good. I do better than you. And you just discern the actions and the words of people, and you use your own judgment to move according to how you need to move. That doesn't need to be in a hasty way, a nasty way, a mean way. God is just going to give you sight this week, and as you have more sight, emotions will arise, right? And embrace these emotions. I'm hearing that you may have a moment this week where you could even break down and cry. And sometimes, remember I said that the rain has to come to wash out the pollen. It's okay to let it out sometimes. Sometimes you have to release these feelings to be able to move forward, to be able to gain your strength, right? So if you find yourself a little down, it's all right, right? It's all right. It's okay. We live in better days. Yeah. It's all right. And it's okay. We live in better days. Right? It's all right. It's okay. We live in better days. Right? Let me go back to this from last week. Unequally yoked relationships, right? We just can't come together with some people because it's just not going to be a balance. And sometimes it hurts when, we have these relationships that are unequally yoked, It can be very hurtful, right? Because, at one point you could have seen yourself somewhere with people, and now we just can't be there with these people. But understand that, light and darkness can't live together, right? It's like it don't go together. Good and evil, they can't coincide. So at some point, things have to be separated from us. And it's a part of the change, it's a part of the growth, it's a process. But the rain also brings in those new flowers, right? So the new partnerships. I'm hearing a lot of joint ventures, just a lot of love, a lot of peace, and, a lot of powerful energy. Now, I feel like there's someone in this week is very important for you to as well do, a little shadow work. It might help you. A little shadow work. It might help you. You gotta go in those places where it hurts. Sometimes you gotta go in those places of yourself where you still have a little bit of hurt, those places we want to deny that is fixed, but you can still feel that little bit of hurt down in you. Sometimes you have to revisit those things that hurt you down there, right? So that you can go and you can really clean out that wound and, start putting on your healing ointment so you can get better, right? Because it takes time. We're always healing, right? But just know that every day that you dig in those, you go in there and you address those things and, you look at yourself in the mirror and figure out why you couldn't love yourself as a child, right? Is it because, at that time it wasn't popular to be who you were, right? Is it because you didn't have anyone to teach you affirmations? Whatever it is, life is different now. Begin to look at yourself in the mirror and speak these positive things over you, right? It's like, it's okay now. Hey, it's okay now. So much. We gotta go. Right? We catch y'all later this afternoon. We had a late one. Hopefully the message resonated. Hopefully you got something and gained something from it. And I hope that you can have a great week going forward. If you were new here, we were glad you were here. Into our soul tribe. You know what it is. We love you. We elemental beings, and we'll catch you guys a little bit later. Ashe, hey, yay. We say Ashe, yay, yay, Ashe.